today's video, we're going to talk about golfer's elbow, medial epicondylitis. We're going to go through the most important exercise to perform, why this actually occurs, and some supplementary exercises you can do as well. The most important thing with preventing golfer's elbow is having good grip strength of our forearms. To do that, we want to practice gripping exercises. We also want to have good grip strength, which includes eccentric load. Eccentric load means lengthening of the muscles while we're using them or forcefully. Think of a cable slowly lowering weight down. To do that, we're going to do an eccentric wrist curl. To perform an eccentric wrist curl, you're going to have your arm supported on a bench or an armchair. You can even have it supported on your own thigh. The exercise is having the weight curled up and then a slow lowering of the weight down. This is that eccentric load or the lengthening of the forearm muscles. Bring it back up. The key is a 1, 2, 3, 4 count down because we're trying to prioritize the lowering of the weight to really lengthen those muscles and strengthen them at the same time. What you're going to want to do is 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. So you're kind of lowering the weight down on a 4 count. So bring it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you get that eccentric load to help strengthen the tendon to prevent medial epicondylitis. Now, to make this exercise easier, you can actually help the weight up on the up portion by using your other hand to help lift. This is a bit of a regression, and if your elbow is feeling a little bit crankier, this can be a good way to start the exercise. So you're not loading it in the concentric or the shortening phase, so you can really prioritize that 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the most typical way to begin this exercise. To make it harder, of course, you won't be using that self-assist, and you can increase the actual weight of the dumbbell or sitting in the unsupported position. This is a good way to also increase the challenge of this exercise. You want to be doing this exercise at least 2 to 3 times per week. We're trying to get from 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions to help build that strength and kind of preparing for any gripping sports or activities. So what actually is medial epicondylitis or golfer's elbow? Basically, we were just going through the lengthening phase of the forearm muscles. So we have many muscles in our forearms here. Primarily, we have our promontory teres, our flexor carpi radialis, our flexor digitorum, we have our flexor carpi ulnaris, we have our palmaris longus, we have our flexor digitorum profundus. We have all these muscles in our forearm here, and they all verge on the medial epicondyle, so the inside part of your elbow with one little tendon. The muscle bellies then go through and then they turn into long tendons that then go into your fingers. So they're muscles used for gripping and bending the wrist. What happens to cause injury here is that from repetitive gripping and bending of the wrist, that can cause the tendons to be strained. I kind of like to think of it as a overworked, underprepared. The best example is if you're someone who started doing a lot of new gripping sports like rock climbing or golfing or like some racket sports or mountain biking without the proper build up to that sport. So like, okay, I'm just going to pick up a new activity and I'm going to do it 3 times a week. Your intensity has dramatically increased and those muscles in your body aren't quite yet ready for it. So they're overworked and underprepared. So that's what can lead to medial epicondylitis. So we want to do these exercises to strengthen them to help prevent that and give ourselves a month or 6 weeks to really build up while we gradually get into our new activities. Here's 2 other exercises that we can do to kind of help prevent golfer's elbow. Another really important thing is having good flexibility of these muscles. So doing things like a simple forearm stretch is very effective for preventing golfer's elbow. What you want to do is you want to grab your fingers with your other hand and you're just going to pull them down with your elbow bent at 90 degrees. What you will feel is the stretching in the muscle bellies. For any stretch, you want to start with 30 to 60 seconds and ideally work your way up to 90 to 120 seconds. Now, if you aren't feeling a stretch here or you're feeling pain in the back of the wrist, just make sure you're holding onto the fingers and that you're not compressing the wrist down. If you're still not feeling a stretch or you felt the stretch initially and you're now getting better, to make this more challenging, have your arms straight out and then pull the fingers back. This will make it longer and have more stretch on here. Again, try to work up for holding it for about 2 minutes. A really great home exercise to build grip strength in your forearms and prevent the golfer's elbow is the towel wringing. What you're going to do is you're going to take a towel and you're going to roll it up. The thicker the towel, the harder the exercise because your grasp is going to be bigger. So you can make the towel a little bit thinner if you like to start. What you're going to do is you're going to hold it steady with one side, and your working hand, this will be my working hand here, is going to try and roll and wring the towel as tight as you can. The beauty about this exercise is you get to be the judge of how hard you work, because you can twist and wring the towel as hard as you want to put effort into it. You're going to want to do 10 directions, bringing it forward, unravel it, and then you're going to want to do 10 wringing it back. So you're really squeezing it and wringing it back. My non-working hand is just holding the towel stationary, so it's not doing anything. So if you want to make the exercise more difficult, you can make the towel thicker. That forces the grip to be larger, makes it more challenging. So you want to switch, we'll do the other side here, 10 wringing it forward 10 times, squeezing as hard as you want. You get to be the judge, and then wringing it back, doing it 10 times in the opposite direction. This is a great way to get a forearm burn. This is similar to when you see people using a dowel and a string and a weight and then pulling it up like this in the gym. The exact same kind of exercise. So a really great home one to do. To make it even more challenging, you can hold the towels straight out and then do your wringing on a long lever. To make it easier, using a thinner towel like a dishcloth or a hand towel, just to kind of help with having it be thinner. Of course, you can always gauge the intensity to make it easier or harder on your own. Some tips I want to share with you is that if you're going to start a new exercise, like say you want to get into mountain biking and you're worried about your grip, you want to be gradually starting these exercises for a 4 to 6 week period while you also start mountain biking. I don't want you to just wait 6 weeks, but you want this to be a gradual build. So you're doing these exercises 2 to 3 times per week, and you're starting your new activity 1 to 2 times per week and just kind of getting used to it. You're not just going, balls to the wall as hard as you can. All of these exercises can be done at home. The dumbbell exercise can be easily done at home, holding a bag with books in it or holding some cans of soup. The towel exercise you can do at home, and everyone should be able to stretch wherever. You want to be ideally working on these exercises for at least a 6 week period to actually get some adaptive long-term change in the muscles, 2 to 3 times per week, building from 2 to 3 sets to 8 to 15 repetitions. Doing this will greatly reduce your risk at getting golfer's elbow and will help increase your grip strength and give you lots of benefits for any sports or daily activities.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below of something that you'd be interested to see next. Tune in next time.